So today we are going to study about fixed state management technique. Till now, what we completed is first we discussed about static members, then we discussed about view state, then we discussed about hidden field, then we discussed about query string, then last session was context object, right? Context object, HTTP context class, context as server object. Okay, today we are going to study about HTTP cookie. Next part, our next topic it is HTTP cookie. Now, one important point on this is cookies are also used for sharing data across web forms. Cookies are also used for what? Sharing data across web forms requested by same user or client requested by. And where is the data stored? Either it is stored in browser or it is stored in machine. This data is stored where I'm saying either it is stored in machine or it is stored in browser. Okay. And one more thing. Uh, and what we find is if it is stored in machine, where from that request has been made, and if the cookies are stored in a machine, then it is called persistent cookie, because the cookie is stored in a file and it will be in your temporary internet file location of your browser. And second part is non-persistent cookie, where data will be stored in browser. The moment browser is closed, whatever data that is stored in cookie, that will be erased or that will be removed. It is not like permanent. It is not permanent. It's temporary, non-persistent. As long as browser is open, data is available, cookies are available. Once browser is closed, all temporary cookies, I mean to say like non-persistent cookies are what? Removed. Okay, I'll practically show you so that you can get idea. An interesting thing now is if it is a cookie created for our browser. So specially you have been designed by one CGI variable. Which variable? CGI variable. And what is that variable? It's called HTTP underscore cookie. Yes. And you can even experience this now when you run a program that your cookie will be stored in that CGI variable. CGI variable. So which CGI variables? We actually have a big list. In classic ASP, we did one example where in that example we studied about what? We studied about server variables. That's a topic we discussed. Server variables. And in that server variables topic, we have come up to display all the server variables information. All the server variables information. So in that server variables information, we can see that HTTP underscore cookie will also be one server variable, which will contain your non-persistent cookies. But definitely they are not permanent. Okay. Now, so first we will have straight away an architecture. Today's class will make an architecture of persistent and non-persistent cookies. Okay. So let's see them. How do you working of persistent and non-persistent cookies. Working of what? Persistent and non-persistent cookies. I'll store this also. D drive. Yes. Now, so this is one browser. This one is one browser. This is another browser. Okay, two browsers. In one location, let me write here. This is temporary internet file for IE, that's Internet Explorer. Temporary internet file for IE. And exactly same way, here also I'll come up with again temporary internet file for F. F. You assume it as better, I'll write Firefox. Yes. One is what? One is what? Firefox. Yeah. Firefox. Two browsers I'm talking. Okay. One is Internet Explorer. One is Firefox. Okay. Now, something important now is here you'll have two pages. You can assume that these are available on server. This is one page available on server, and this is another page available on other server. Two pages we have. Two pages. So we'll call this page 1.aspx, page 2.aspx, and I call them as P1, P2 as pages for understanding. Page 1, page 2. Or you write separate, no problem. This is page 1, this is page 2. Now, this is one file. and this is page2.asp. This is page 1. This is page 2. Yes, 2 pages here. Now, let's assume that, okay, so let's remove this completely. Right. Now assume this is one, yes, this is one Internet Explorer browser. You can assume it as one browser. This is one Internet Explorer. And exactly same way I'll draw another. Okay. This is one location. Okay. And this one is another. Another browser. Okay. And what is this? This is for understanding and drawing this. You can assume this actually a file. This is a file, which will store, that will create in your hard disk. So for reference purpose, because I just want to highlight that it will store permanent. For that reason, I'll give a representation of it as database. Permanent representation, I mean to say. It's not actually database, permanent representation. Or if you feel confusion, you can try it straight away write as file, your wish. Because already I mentioned on the top, temporary internet file for IE. Already I mentioned on the top. What did I mention? Temporary internet file for what I said? IE. Now, again, going little further on this part, now what we study is, and what we can do. Yeah. Similarly, we will represent here also for Firefox. Yes. And this also I'll represent for Firefox. Yes. Now, what we have to do is here assume that this is a response coming from page 1 now. Whatever I'm going to draw now. What do you assume? It is a response from page 1. Okay. Okay. So this is the response from page 1. Yes. Now what is this I say? What is this actually? I'll mention numbers later. So this is like first response. And what you're sending is key value pair T1 equal to V1 and C, C2 equal to V2. You assume like one is persistent in it and one is non-persistent in it. So according to what I write, you can assume in that way. Okay. Okay, let me draw this thing. Yes. Now this is IE and this is Firefox. Okay. This is one instance of Internet Explorer. This is one instance of Internet Explorer. This is one instance of Firefox. And now, I already said, once again I repeat, depends where I put my key value pair, based on that you assume. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Little this also will push towards. Now, where is C1, V1? So I'll write like this. Okay. What do you write is C1 equal to V1, C2 equal to V2. Okay. This I'm going to write in browser. Sorry, in a file. C1 equal to V1 will be part of file. If it is file, understand it is persistent cookie. C2 equal to V2, it is in browser. So it is non-persistent cookie. It is non-persistent cookie. Okay, another interesting thing. Page 1 will also respond to, yes, second page. Second page. Now what you are returning with second response now, what you are returning, I'll write C1 equal to V11 and C2 equal to V22. Okay. This is response from second page. Okay, let us write C1 equal to V11, C2 equal to V22. Okay. Now remember, this is output of respond return to second browser. So this C2 will be stored in second browser memory, and first browser C1 equal to V11, whichever you have written here, this will straight away will override. So this content will go. Yes, this content will go and this content is stored. So finally, file will have because of same name, you can say. First browser instance also was created by C1 equal to V1. Second browser instance is also created by C1 equal to V11. So indirectly now you can see that C1 is our second browser variable. So C1 only you will have. So it will overwrite now. Okay. Now third, page 1 response to page 1 response to whom? Page 1 response to a client with Firefox who is submitting data to what? Firefox. Okay. What is he sending now? So he is sending data in this way. C1 equal to V1 1 and C2 equal to V2 2 triple two. Okay. This is the data. What is being submitted? Yes. And it's returning to this. Okay. Let me draw this also. Yes. Now what is that we have content here is content. C1 equal to V triple one. C2 equal to V triple two. Okay. This is the data available in Firefox, and this is the data available for persistent cookie. This data is available for persistent cookie. But where is it? It is temporary internet file location of what? Firefox. Okay, but both of them will communicate to the same location. This will also communicate with the same file, and this will also communicate with the same file. Both of them will go and communicate with same. Even this one is going to communicate with the same, I mean, its own temporary internet location, its own. Okay. Now, coming to the next part, that what we learn is now here. First instance is there. Now it is making a request now to page 2. It's making a request. From where data is submitted? From page 1, data is submitted to where? Page 2. Data is submitted to where? Page 2. Yes, page 2. Now what you are going to send the content? What content you will send now? Yes. When it is submission data, it will send V11 and C2 equal to V2 because one is overwritten. No? One content is overwritten. So you'll have first page data as persistent data and non-persistent data of first instance of Internet Explorer. Okay, now you're making request from second instance. Yes. Okay. Now what is that content you have is C1 equal to V11 and C2 equal to V22. Yes. Yes. This is being submitted. Okay. Exactly same way. Firefox will also send data to page 2. Firefox. And what is that? This will hold now. What is the content this will hold? C1 equals to V triple one and C2 equal to V triple two. Okay. Here we represented wrong actually. According to this representation. Okay, I did mistake here. So this is persistent because above also C1 representation is persistent now, and C2 is non-persistent. Okay, only for understanding, not a rule that I should forward in the same. No, it depends how you want to approach it. Yeah. Now this is the data. Now, when it represents your information sequence wise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, this is the data. Yes, this is first response. This is second response. This is third response. Third. This is fourth response. Fourth request, sorry. Fourth. Fifth, makes request. Yes. That's it. This is the representation of content from page. Okay, I'll write that to be structured. Okay, I'll mention here. What I'll mention. When it is coming to page 1, page 2, it is response. And when it is going to another page, it is request. Okay, this is also I'll mention. So this is responded by server for page 1. This is responded by server to one more instance. Responded to one more process. Request. Request with that new content. Request with that content. Request with that. Then what is your aim? Aim is also same. That you want to transfer data from one web page to another web page. But this time, to whom you are using? You are using persistent and non-persistent cookies. If it is, if data is available in persistent cookie, if I'm saying, if data is available in persistent cookie, then what do you notice? Yes, if it is available, then what do you notice? So we notice that that particular information will be available. That information will be available for what? Across web browsers. Across. Even if I close my application, even if I stop my server, if I open it again, if I restart my server, if I make my application available, definitely you could see very clear picture that it can access data from one page to other page. In one page you store, in one page you store, in another. In one page we are going to store data, in another page we are going to retrieve the data. And in both the cases, we are going to have HTTP cookie as your class object for your representation of information. It doesn't matter, I say again, within the same page you are submitting data or across web pages you are submitting the data. Anyways, our aim is state management. We want our data to be available from one file to another file, or from one page to another page. Now, what is not important? I'm saying what is not important. As simple as it. What? So which page and all you don't bother about. Hope everything is clear. If you have any questions to ask. Okay. So exactly following this technique, we are going to see our program. And in one example, I'll focus all the three scenarios so that there will not be any confusion for you. So when I design my application, no? When I design my application, we'll see something called operations. We'll see like how to create a cookie, how to set a cookie, how to get a cookie, how to extract all cookies, how to delete all cookies, how to retrieve all cookies. Those are all things we are going to discuss through one example and focus on every point of how to install. Simply, you can make things understand. Simply. Srinivas, is everything clear at your end? Romana, are you also clear of it? Okay. Okay, that's it. Tomorrow's class, man, show you example. Okay, Srinivas, see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll cover the exam.